requires us to both exploit and rely on the power of our sun. But to master it is to understand the star's duality. The nuclear force that scorches anything foolish enough to draw near is the same force we harness to heal. It feeds the flora of our galaxy, just as it begets drought and famine. Destruction and recreation are a necessary cycle. Strand is our newest foray into darkness. As I understand it now, it is the elemental manifestation of psychic connection. All minds are connected in a web of consciousness, which we can now see and feel. To wield Strand is to pull on the hidden connecting threads and to use them to create, manipulate, and unravel. I had assumed this element would behave similar to our other darkness ability. But unlike stasis, mastering Strand seems to require one to relinquish control, to embrace the connecting threads and perhaps flow with them. I look forward to experimenting more with this new element.
With Neomuna Civil News, this is Jisoo Colorado reporting. It is with a heavy heart I must report the passing of our senior cloudstrider, Rohan, who perished while defending our city from Shadow Legion forces. Rohan is succeeded by the protege, Nimbus. The Council has scheduled a vigil soon to pay homage to this great hero. Good night, Neomuna, and good luck.
Cosmic distortion. It is the pull of gravity and the promise of entropy. The vacuum of space and the gravitational forces that shape it teach us that emptiness is not nothingness. In Ikora's words, to wield void is to draw strength from both the immeasurably small and the unfathomably massive. With it, we bend the very fabric of space-time. Arc is the element of motion and conduction, and is created when the electromagnetic forces of our universe struggle to achieve balance. According to Ikora, Arc teaches us that change is a fundamental aspect of the universe. To wield it is to ride the storm of the unguessable. Stasis is the element of will and control. It slows, detains, and shatters. It was our first step into darkness, and taught us the universe is not as black and white as it first seemed. Elsie Bray and Eris Morn have slightly different interpretations of how one masters this element. Fitting, as stasis thrives on individual will, but merging their thoughts gives me this. Control over the self can foster control over others. But without power over the self, destruction runs wild. When we wield stasis, we must exercise the ultimate authority over both self and others.
This is Jisoo Calorando coming to you once again with a special guest as part of our continuing war coverage, the Cabal Empress Keitel. Your Majesty, thank you for joining us today.
We thank you, Mr. Calorando.
Most of our listeners know little of your people's history beyond your colonization efforts on Mars and the recent Red War with Earth. Tell me, what is your goal here in the Sol system?
We came to your system as conquerors, Mr. Calorando. While that was not under my rule, it is a banner I would have gladly waved.
And yet you extended the offer of a truce with Earth.
The Cabal say there is no road through war. Your direction must change with circumstance.
Ah, you're referring to the recent destruction of your homeworld.
Torabottle was consumed by the Hive and the Witness. And so now my people fight for survival in addition to glory.
My sympathies. All of Neomuna knows what it is to lose a homeworld.
I do not place much value in your sympathies, Mr. Calorando. They were of little value to Earth.
With Neomuna Civil News, this is Jisoo Calorando coming to you today with Cloudstrider Nimbus for updates on the recent conflict. Nimbus, thank you for joining us in light of the heavy burden that has recently fallen on your shoulders.
I mean, whole city's hurting right now, Jisoo. Rohan was my hero, same as everyone else. But the best thing we can all do is make sure his sacrifice means something. Keep this city safe.
And what of the Guardians? Have they helped maintain our peace and safety, or are they adding new complications?
We all knew the return of the Pyramid Fleet was going to be complicated. And I'm glad we've had the Guardians here every step of the way. There's one thing Rohan taught me, it's that no one survives alone. We need each other.
Impassioned words from one of our city's great champions. Let us hope time proves them wise as well. This is Jisoo Calorando, signing off.
Today, we honor relentless Rohan, his service, his sacrifice. More than a protector of Neomuna, he was a true cloudstrider. He cut his years short so that the whole of humanity may thrive far into the future.
Today we suffer, so tomorrow can live on.
Well, you found me. This is the day job. Chief Archivist Quinn Ligari. Librarian to the stars. The sabotage thing is just a side gig. And I am grateful for all your skullduggery, by the way. My day job is a lot more filing. Anyway, this is where I'd usually show you around, maybe buy you a drink, but I got an eensy-weensy crisis. Let me just... What? No, no! Do not core dump! Ah! Dumb machine! Okay. Why don't you take a look around while I get to a good stopping point?
hey Guardian. Induction ceremony wrap up all right? The citizens did a good job improvising. Traditionally, both cloudstriders are there for the final handoff, but Rohan wasn't here, so... And if he were, he wouldn't be moaning about the past. He'd be too busy cracking open the veil, jumping through the portal, and knocking the witness back on its multiple asses. You know, the Vex were working on a copycat veil. Oh yeah, Rohan stumbled on it in the Nexus, years ago. It was half finished then, but he was convinced that the Vex had the goods on the original. Goods we'd need one day. Just think! We wrestle the Veil's secrets out of the Vex and we're one step closer to kicking down the Witness's door. But first, we gotta track down Rohan's notes. So, what do you say? Help me follow in the big guy's footsteps?
Welcome, Neomuna, to the Hall of Heroes, where history lives on in you. The Earth author Peter S. Beagle once wrote, "There is no immortality but a tree's love. No one dies so long as they are remembered." So join me, City Archivist Quinn Ligari, as we learn about the great heroes who have made our impossible city a reality. Hi, I'm Quinn Ligari, City Archivist. It's my job to keep the past alive and help shape the future. With so much history lost to the first collapse, preserving humanity's knowledge is one of Neomuna's highest priorities. If we do not know who we have been, can we truly decide who we shall become? I hate those things. They made me re-record all my originals. Apparently, my take on history can be too sarcastic. Altruism, affinity, awareness. These aren't just the Cloudstrider ideals. They are the soul of Neomuna. Each of the memorials filling this room is a server dedicated to the life of a fallen hero, made from their own augmented systems. Every communication and journal detailing their noble sacrifice is available not only for future Cloudstriders to study, but you as well. The truest way to honor our city's champions is by using their experience to improve ourselves. Here in the foyer of arrivals rests noble Rohan. This sacred space honors both the beauty and the grief in a hero's passing. Since lockdown, so much of our city lived vicariously through our champion, and so we feel his loss more keenly. Every Cloudstrider embraces mortality, but in the lives they save and deeds recounted, they are timeless. The seed of each plant thrives in soil enriched by fallen leaves. All they are, from inception to fruit, is an echo of who came before. The plants grown here in the Hall of Heroes are all reclaimed species, extinct on Earth and restored on Neomuna. They are memories of a lost homeworld, returned to life thanks to the safety and prosperity our champions provide. additional support pukas in training and therapy. They often select the friendliest chicks from those hatched right here, among their fallen predecessors. The founders came to Neptune in fear, desperate to survive the collapse. The Traveler had left gardens on many planets and moons. But on Neptune, they found a harsh frontier of floating continents and dangerous storms. Compassion, cooperation, and innovation allowed them to survive, just as they now allow us all to flourish. Maelstrom. She was one of the city's greatest military leaders. Ended the Cobalt occupation before she even became a cloudstrider. Everybody loves him now, but back when Blue Jay was just Conrad Jane, the whole city hated his guts. Did all kinds of illegal sim research. The Strider. She was the very first official cloudstrider. Losing her records hurts the most. Stargazer. You probably wouldn't expect a mathematician to be a great cloudstrider, but I hear your Ikora Ray is kind of a nerd too. Siegebreaker. Telluride Magsy. He converted in the middle of the 20-year siege, and he ended it. But Vex captured his mentor, Puck. Magsy rescued Puck, but by then, the bots had stripped secrets from his brain. Old man couldn't handle the guilt. Took risks. Got hurt.
That's awful. And eerily similar to what Osiris went through. I wonder if Rohan learned how to counsel Osiris from... Guardian, your strand, it's... What's happening?
You recreated the memorial. Nimbus said your strand power could make things, but I didn't think they meant like this.
Neither did we. I guess Neomuna's emotional connection to their heroes is strong enough to anchor this strand creation permanently.
Built a data crawler app to scour Siegebreaker's database for mentions of the other 4 Cloudstriders targeted in that Vex attack. He references Stargazer and some kind of secret number-crunching algorithm. No context. So I need you to restore Stargazer's records. All you need to do is sort of vibe with Stargazer, the city's most famous explorer.
Oh, I forgot. There's an audio log terminal here. I forgot to pick up.
Wow, what a pleb.
Well, that's what I'm playing, you pleb.
No load-bearing damage, and the rest is taken care of. A little on the rocks, but we're good.
You sure? I can take a look.
I'm sure. Save your resources for the more vital infrastructure. We'll have a bad
Damn,
time
someone's over here at the
before
other
security
side,
guards
Sparrow.
go.
Damn,
Let me know if
it's
that
crazy.
changes.
It's kind
Might
of
not be
hot.
as
I don't
easy
even lie.
as the siege, but
What?
history's worth keeping safe.
Nothing.
That's why you're my favorite, Sid.
Ah, you say
Man.
I mean it, Jeffrey.
What? Nothing.
I didn't say anything. You said
Long
something?
stock. I didn't know. You know?
I didn't hear anything.
You know, my biggest complaint with Gambit is the fact that you're just, like, when you die, you know, like by Invader or something, it regens the fucking boss's health. That's the thing I've always
I
hated
found
most about it.
Stargazer's algorithm in the data you recovered.
It's stupid.
It's
I
not
don't care
an
if it
algorithm.
balances, it's dumb.
They
It's
called it
annoying.
the occlusion. Love this stuff. My data crawler also pulled some old library records showing
Could you breathe any louder, sir?
She was the greatest
Sorry,
military
bro.
mind in
Yes.
history. And one of our smashed servers. Can't be a coincidence. If this occlusion spooked the Vex, maybe Maelstrom kept a backup of it on her server. She was a warrior, so go start some fights.
Intolerable.
What draws the Empress's ire now?
The soldiers Calus sends. While some of these may be the mindless clones you saw on the Leviathan, many more are deserters and traitors. Those who have forgotten what it means to be Cabal.
That still troubles you? This is not a new state of affairs.
No. But it is more than that. It is the further division of a people. It is destruction from within, by our own hands. Once I was hungry for the glory of battle. Even now I have never turned away from a necessary fight. But I see only foolishness here.
The time when this fight could have been avoided is long past.
I know. This is not reluctance. Only regret.
This little electronic oracle may be useful, but I don't like anyone standing behind me, whether they've got a knife or not. So the question is, tear it out and let the whole network fall apart, or leave it in, and maybe things get a whole lot worse.
What's up? My data crawler's running hot! Maelstrom accessed the occlusion a lot. She called it a simulation echo, but it's not a saved file. It's hidden code in the Cloud Arc. She found it in Cloudstrider Blue Jay's notes, so, kinda need his archive restored. Blue Jay was a tech genius, rebuilt the Cloud Arc into a virtual world. He also built most of our modern computer defenses, which means security. Ugh. Security access is the bane of my archival career. This is outside my clearance, but Nimbus could help.
Check this out!
a Vex. Of course, I never thought I'd work with a smoking hot Earth warlord either. Interesting times. The occlusion is still... asleep isn't the right word, but basically asleep. I think it just likes the quiet. It's buried too deep in the network to just yank out, so for now, I guess we just let it sleep. I'll let Nimbus and the city council figure out what to do. Nimbus says you like weapons, and as chief archivist, I have access to some fun artifacts in the vault. Don't put your eye out.